Hello, I'm Stewart Jackson. I work as a family counselor, and in that work, I have a chance to be a part of families' lives and to the members that are trying to be the best selves they can be. This time of pandemic in our world has put enormous pressure on families that's really different than other times in our lives. We're together more often. And the ways in which we are together have been called into question. Generally, families operate in patterns. And as I've said before, when you're a part of a family, if one person does something, it begins to affect everyone else in the family. And so, for better or for worse, families operate as units so that we all affect each other more or less. One of the ways that families are trying to adjust, or at least the question they're having to deal with, is who does what in the family? Maybe there were times prior to 2020 where you had patterns of you knew exactly who did what in the family, who took out the garbage, who cleaned up, who cooked, who did grocery shopping, who did other things, and who provided for the family. So now that things are so different, just about us being together more, who does what becomes a really important question. As I was thinking about this, I recalled a few Christmases ago when my wife and I hosted a street party at Christmas time. People from the street that we live on brought covered dishes, and we all gathered and visited with each other. I had the good fortune to live near one of the retired philosophy professors from Birmingham Southern College. His name was Dr. O.C. Weaver. If you can imagine a college professor that sort of looks like Yoda, you would get a picture of him. I mean, without the pointy ears. And he did speak in correct English sentences. He was from the Deep South. He went to college at Birmingham Southern and then to Yale for his graduate degrees, and came back and for 60 years or so taught philosophy here at Birmingham Southern. He was in his 90s at this party, and he was sitting over along the perimeter of one of the rooms, and I noticed he had finished his dinner. And so I brought him a piece of cake, and I exchanged the plate of cake and took his plate of scraps. And he looked at me and in his very southern way said, "Stewart, your works of supererogation will not help you in the kingdom to come, but I am grateful nonetheless." Supererogation? What are you talking about? And he said, "You'll find it in your book of discipline." Well, those of you who may know, the Methodist Church uses a book of discipline to kind of supposedly guide us in our rules. And so he said I could find it here. Well, as soon as I had a chance, I went to the book of discipline and eventually found it. And what it means is that you're called to do your part. If you do more than your part, what happens is that automatically somebody in the community will do less than their part. So our calling, our role, is to do our part without overdoing, so that everyone else has a chance to do their part. I can guarantee you that if, I'm just going to make this up, but if you always do the laundry, for everyone in your house, and you continue to do that, then nobody else will be motivated to do any laundry themselves. Works of supererogation. My daughter, who motivates me to do these video chats, is doing a lot in the community. And she said the other day that no one can do everything, but everyone can do something. I hope that's true in your family. I invite it for your thinking. How balanced are you in everybody having a chance to do their part based on age, development, ability, things like that. It doesn't have to be divided up absolutely equally. It has to be divided up according to ability. Well, I hope you are using this time to find ways to do your part. And may you stay well, safe, and at home.